everyone, welcome back to my channel. Yay, season 2 of Bridgerton is back and I am really happy about it. I binged it all in like the first day or two it came out, and this is probably full of spoilers, so stop watching if you haven't finished it yet and you want to finish it, or if you don't care about spoilers and you're really intrigued to find out who my favourite character is, then keep watching. So Bridgerton is a bit of an enigma to me. I love it and I hate it, probably in equal measures. Like, Bridgerton on paper is my worst nightmare. Like, I would hate to live in that era and I would be the worst wife to these people. It would drive me absolutely insane. It's a world where your gender and class is kind of the most important thing about who you are and what people think of you. And I really don't like that. But there's also really cool characters. It's really fun and funny. And there's these crazy dances, which I don't know why, but I kind of want to learn how to do them. Kind of worrying, actually. And I also love the music. My favourite character from season 2 is Kate Sharma. Okay, so number 1, she is a feminist. Really important to me that there's some kick-ass female characters in Bridgerton. In 19th century Regency England, it's not an easy place to be a independent, fierce, amazing woman, really. It's a good place to have children, look after a house, and do some like knitting, or what is it that they do? Embroidery. So Kate stands out as really different. Imagine how awesome Kate would be in 2022 if she is this good in such a patriarchal society within Bridgerton. Although saying that, I guess the Queen is the head of the society. But then realistically, every other household, I think, most of the households within Bridgerton are run by men. She is smart, headstrong, fiercely independent and loyal. She cares about her family above everything else, even herself. And I just love her. She doesn't really care about marriage. She thinks she's too old. I think she's 26, which is really awful that that's too old, but hey, we're in 2022 and you don't really have to get married these days, so win. But yeah, it's such a leap from Daphne in season 1, where all of her life she was kind of almost bred like a racehorse to like be a brilliant wife. And it's the same, I guess, with Kate's sister. She can play the piano, she can do all these different things like singing and crochet and all those boring things Regency England was all about if you're a woman. But Kate just doesn't care about those things for herself, and I really like that she's different. Number 2 is the dialogue and her delivery. She is so witty and so fast and intelligent with what she says to people. She doesn't hold back. She doesn't care what other people think about her, which again, in context of the era, that was really, really not heard of. Like, it was all about what people thought of you. That was like the main thing. That's what Bridgerton's all about, right? Is what that lady writes, and the gossip and the scandal. I absolutely love that scene where she comes out of a ball, one of the balls, I think the first ball, I've said ball a lot, that ball where she, I've said it again, where she comes outside and she overhears the Viscount talking to his friends.
I take issue with any man who views women merely as chattels and breeding stock.
None of that was meant for
Viscount Bridgerton, yes. When you manage to find this paragon of virtue, whatever makes you think she will accept your suit?
Nobody else does that to him in the whole of the 2 seasons, or any of the men really. No women really give them a what for, and like when they say all of this kind of controversial stuff, well, I guess it wasn't controversial at the time, but when they say all of these things about women or about anything that isn't good, people usually just say, like, they don't want to like break the rules, they don't want to talk to guys in a kind of confrontational way, I guess, and the power is always really clearly with the men. But I love how Kate just, nah, not having it. I will tell you that you're an awful person, and she does, and ace.
Do not tell me
No, stand still, damn it!
To do.
So the third one is, I love how she doesn't follow rules. Again, this is really unheard of within the women in Bridgerton. The first scene we see her, she's like riding a horse, which, you know, okay, our society, go for it, ride a horse if you want to ride a horse. But again, in Bridgerton, women aren't seen like striding a horse like that out on their own, and just, she even like asked the Viscount for like a race at one point, and she is better than him as well, and she's not scared to show that, and that's just cool. She also goes out on her own without a maid or an escort, and She feels safe, like she doesn't need somebody to chaperone her around. She's really independent and doesn't want this whole charade around her. There's a scene as well where she goes hunting and the Viscount kind of shows her how to use the English gun. And she just like, no, I don't need your help. And even though she kind of did need his help, but I just love how she will just say it and she's not scared to say, no, go away.
I require no instruction.
So yeah, she's really competitive, fierce and fun as well. So she breaks the rules, but in a really fun, independent feminist way, and I think that's awesome. So my fourth and final reason why Kate is my favourite character in season 2 is that representation matters. And I'm so glad that the writers and the producers decided to go against what was in the books. The name was supposed to be Kate Sheffield in the books, and I think we can all imagine who Kate Sheffield would have been, and I just see like another Daphne character, and another kind of someone who's kind of got their attitudes and their pompous ways about them, who's been born and bred in this country and has no difference to any of the other women. So I am so pleased that they decided to have a different representation and a different culture. One of my favourite scenes in season 2 is the night before the wedding. The 3 Sharma ladies, so the 2 sisters and the mum, are smearing like this yellow paste all over each other's face. It's like a really fun scene, really bright, really beautiful. And it's clearly like a cultural ritual that they've got from where they're from. And I just really enjoy seeing different things, and I'm bored of seeing like the stag do with all the guys drinking their whiskey, and it was just really refreshing and interesting to see something new. Hopefully, you know, in a few years this won't even be a valid point anymore, and diversity is much more apparent on TV and film and on everything. But right now it does matter, and it is unusual to have a South Asian lady leading a show like Bridgerton, and I think she was brilliant. I think she was the best character of the season. So that's it. I'm hoping this video isn't too long because I'm really bad at long videos. I hope you enjoyed my talk about Kate. I probably could have talked about her for much longer, but I'm trying to keep it short. If you want to see a video about my favourite male character, then let me know and I will do another video. Bye!